Welcome to Shaggyshane's 2017 exit show. Even though we exited that show 5 weeks ago at Arrowhead Stadium, thank you for joining me Saturday, February 10th, 2018. I have a guest today, none other than Clay Wendler from Red Tribe Cinema. He's going to join us today via Red Tribe Cinema hot phone, answering some tough questions, talking about our collaboration, our work together, and Curse of the Kingdom, Rise of Mahomes. Now, the Chiefs lost the playoff game 5 weeks ago at Arrowhead Stadium. We don't need to relive it. We know what happened. But my takeaways from that game, Bob Sutton, he kept his job. A lot of Chiefs fans are upset about Bob Sutton keeping in his job. Let's talk about that defense. Let's look at the problems. Injuries. Eric Berry got hurt week 1 against the New England Patriots. D. Ford, outside linebacker, was injured. Frank Zombo had to come in and play our special teams outside linebacker, had to play most of the game and most of the season at outside linebacker. And Justin Houston is only as good as whoever's on the other side. Justin Houston, throughout his career, his highlights, the best part of Justin Houston has been when he's had either a Tom Bahali in his prime or he's had D. Ford on the other side. Chiefs defense have struggled with Frank Zombo in a 3-4 defense, the opposite outside linebacker. With the game on the line, the Chiefs need to get the Tennessee Titans off the field with 2 minutes left in the game. 3rd and 10. The Titans basically hand off, just a give-up play. And Marcus Mariota pancaked Frank Zombo. He pancaked him, dude. So when you look at what Bob Sutton had to work with, he had to work with Daniel Sorensen, who wasn't Eric Berry. He had to work with Frank Zombo, who wasn't Tom Bahali in his prime. He wasn't even D. Ford. He was a liability. Back in 2003, the Chiefs lost a playoff game where the Colts didn't punt and the Chiefs didn't punt. The Chiefs' kingdom was in a wrath. They wanted Greg Robinson, the defensive coordinator, gone. The general manager, Carl Peterson, took heed to what the Chiefs' kingdom wanted. 2 days after that loss, the Chiefs fired defensive coordinator Greg Robinson. Dick Vermeil, the head coach, had a teary-eyed press conference on how he was so upset that he had to fire Greg Robinson. Meanwhile, Chiefs Kingdom was euphoric. Yeah! We fired Greg Robinson. We got his ass out of here. And the Chiefs brought back Gunther Cunningham. We celebrated all off season. Yay! Gunther's back. What happened the first game of the 2004 season? Sunday Night Football on ESPN at the time. A running back by the name of Quentin Griffin of the Denver Broncos rushed for over 200 yards. We waited all off season just to get gashed. My point being, if you're going to make a change at defensive coordinator, you got to get the pieces in place. Brett Veach made some trades this last summer and leading up to the season for middle linebacker Reggie Ragland. Great pickup by Brett Veach. He's a stud middle linebacker in a 3-4 defense. You're going to want Reggie Ragland as your middle linebacker, and you're going to want to stay 3-4. I will say this moving forward. Bob Sutton's got his work cut out for him. He has to step up. But last 3 or 4 weeks ago, Kevin Pierre-Louis, the other starting middle linebacker opposite of Reggie Ragland, got busted for weed. We don't know what that's going to be like going forward, if he's going to have a 4-game suspension, because the Chiefs have to make some moves to continue to get some more cap space. Derek Johnson, I would love for him to come back in some capacity. He's the Chiefs' all-time leading tackler, number 56. I love his game. I love everything he's produced as a Chief. He's been a team captain. He's been a solid contributor. But he lost some playing time when Kevin Pierre-Louis and Reggie Ragland became the starting middle linebackers for your Kansas City Chiefs throughout the latter half of the 2017 season. The Chiefs made the blockbuster trade with Washington Redskins 10 days ago. It can't be announced. It can't be put out there until March 14th, but everybody knows about it. Alex Smith was traded to the Washington Redskins for a third-round draft pick, and the Chiefs picked up a stud cornerback, Kendall Fuller. Kendall Fuller is a stud defensive back that you can either put in the slot. Pro Football Focus had Kendall Fuller as the number 1 rated slot corner, or I don't know how Bob Sutton wants to run him going into next season. He's either going to be a slot corner or he's going to be an opposite corner with the other corner opposite of Marcus Peters with Steven Nelson. So we're going to have to see about that going forward. But what a move. People are asking me, hey, Shaggy, what'd you think of trading Alex Smith? I love it. I love it. Who doesn't love it? I mean, Alex Smith did his best here in Kansas City. He had 5 years here. He didn't have much playoff success, and that's what we're all going about. We could say, well, Alex Smith was number 1 in this category and that category last season. Alex Smith's fate was sealed after the 2016 playoff loss against the Steelers with Tyreek Hill running open. Brett Veach, as you know, you watched my show on last month, was one of the top scouts watching Patrick Mahomes, as I mentioned on my show on New Year's Eve, watching Patrick Mahomes, scouting him. He was really doing his due diligence scouting him. He really jumped up on the table, all last offseason saying, we got to get Patrick Mahomes. We got to get this guy. Brett Veach was really championing this guy. And back to the point, Alex Smith really sealed his fate that day. Having Alex Smith play for the Kansas City Chiefs in the 2017 season is basically like going to work at your job. You went to work at your job knowing that this guy that you're working with is going to be replaced by this other guy. This other guy's coming in to take over for this guy because this guy is not reaching his bar. He's not reaching his excellence. Then when that guy sees the other guy coming in to take his place, he starts to up his game. He's like, oh, now that your replacement's on his way to come be Alex Smith, now that your replacement's coming to take over for you next year, now you're going to start being number 1 in all these categories. Too little, too late. And we saw Alex Smith, his shortcomings in the playoff game in the second half. When the Chiefs were up 21-10, Dustin Colquitt punted a beautiful punt after the Chiefs went 3 and out. The Chiefs had the ball at the 28-yard line, and Alex Smith missed Demetrius Harris on second down. He missed Albert Wilson on third down by giving up on plays, and subsequently we went backwards, and Butker missed a 48-yard field goal. But we're not looking back. We're looking forward, ladies and gentlemen, and it's time to look forward. With that being said, I want to bring my guest to Shaggyshane. Today's show, none other than SB Nation, Clay Wendler's own, from Red Tribe Cinema, the man himself, Clay Wendler. Clay, how's it going, man?
Hey, Shane. I'm good. Very cool hat, by the way.
Hey, thanks, man. No problem, Eddie. Well, it's one of my favorite red and yellow hats. Like to wear it to all the games. I got a series of questions for you that I think a lot of people, a lot of viewers, of my viewers who talk to me about me and my association with you. Clay, you and I worked together at Warpaint Illustrated for some time, for a few years. You've taken your talents many places. You have the fastest GIF in the West. You're the man on Twitter. You're the man on Facebook, really. You got a huge following. A lot of Chiefs fans are critical of a lot of the things that, a lot of the things you post. And like I said, you've gained enormous following on Facebook with your fan page. A lot of people feel like during the Chiefs' tenure of Matt Castle and Alex Smith, when they were our quarterbacks, they felt that you, Clay, and Red Tribe Cinema was too hard on Matt Castle and Alex Smith. Do you feel that criticism is fair, being that hard on Matt Castle and Alex Smith? Is that fair, Clay?
Well, I would say it's absolutely fair. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, no matter how wrong it might be. So I've been a Chiefs fan since I was 11 years old and moved to the United States in 1992. And after the devastating playoff loss following the 2010 season, I finally decided I was done with this life of rooting for veteran retreads, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So my idea of being a Chiefs fan basically got twisted into poking fun at the franchise until they regained my respect by getting serious at the quarterback position, which really should be the foundation of any team that has any aspirations of winning a Super Bowl.
I can't disagree with that. Not at all. All right, Clay. Many of us were stoked. Many of us were stoked last April when the Chiefs drafted Patrick Mahomes. Going into that offseason, a lot of people were talking about should the Chiefs try to get Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes, with the Chiefs sitting at 27 last year. When the playoff loss ended against the Steelers, I wanted the Chiefs to do everything in their power to move up the draft board on draft day to get Deshaun Watson. Nick Gillespie said, hey, keep an eye on Patrick Mahomes. I saw Patrick Mahomes at the Combines. I fell in love with him. Fell in love with his highlights. Fell in love with what he did at Texas Tech. Watching Path to the Draft on NFL Network with the great Charlie Casserly, Daniel Jeremiah, Bucky Brooks. They broke down a lot of the quarterback's potential and whatnot. I fell in love with Patrick Mahomes. Did you buy into Patrick Mahomes, or did you more want Deshaun? Were you happy with Patrick Mahomes, or did you more want Deshaun Watson, Clay?
So I'll admit that I wasn't on board with Mahomes prior to his drafting, because I didn't really want any of the quarterbacks coming out in 2017. I wanted the Chiefs to wait a year and pick something like Sam Darnold, which probably would have been a mistake. But in the end, I was just excited to see the Chiefs finally draft a quarterback in the first round. And then, as things started to happen, got more and more excited.
Good point, buddy. With the playoff loss last month and Nick Foles winning the Super Bowl last weekend, there's a lot of criticism on Andy Reid. About he's not going to be able to get it done in Kansas City. Do you feel the criticism of Coach Reid is fair, Clay? Is that fair?
I don't think it's fair at all. I think he's definitely a championship-level coach. He just needs the right quarterback, which was the case with guys like Bill Cowher and Tony Dungy and Tom Coughlin, who really didn't. People were critical of them until they got the right quarterback. So if Mahomes is the right quarterback, then I think Andy Reid is going to change people's opinion of him here pretty quick.
Okay. Obviously, our work that we worked together in your short film, Curse of the Kingdom, Rise of Mahomes, has got a plethora of hits. It's been viewed over 43,000 times on Facebook, shared over 690 on Facebook, and it's been viewed over 23,000 times on YouTube. It was speaking of which, my part in that movie, or in that short film, was a blast to make. Looking at that, Clay, I want to ask you this. It's received a lot of attention. Are you happy with would you feel like you're happy with how the project Curse of the Kingdom turned out, Clay? Are you happy with how it's turned out so far in the 1 week of it being released?
To be honest, I'm kind of shocked because I wasn't really sure what I was doing was going to resonate with anybody, because the film is kind of negative for like the first half, so I can understand why people would just turn it off. But when I saw how you and Lance reacted to it, I thought maybe I had something, and then the trailer went out, and people like that. And so the response to the actual video on Facebook has been way, way, way beyond what I thought it was going to be. I really just made it for myself because I just kind of wanted to work out my own personal demons as a Chiefs fan. But apparently I'm not the only Chiefs fan who feels this way. So reading comments from people that feel the same way is pretty great. Especially when I've gotten a mountain of shit for being a total buzzkill over the last 5 years.
That's cool, man. What was the best part of putting together Curse of the Kingdom, Rise of Mahomes, man? You got to tell me. I mean, I know you were running ideas by me at the beginning, but to yourself, what was the best part of making that film, Clay?
Well, I had a pretty good laugh looking at the old footage of Bono and Gerbach chucking up ducks and superimposing Alex Smith's face over a garbage-filled parking lot was a moment of pure artistic joy. But, to be honest, the best part by far was working with you and Lance on the voiceovers and getting feedback from you guys on what I was doing and seeing your reactions to the rough cuts. And just that stuff was really, really fun for me. Way more fun than it would have been if I had just been doing everything myself.
Wow, man. That's really cool. This is really cool. I appreciate you answering these questions, buddy. Let me ask you this next one, buddy. It's real important. You know, with the Curse of the Kingdom, Rise of the Mahomes, you know, being the success, I want to ask you this. Obviously, your short film has received some attention on social media recently. What made you, Clay, want to decide to put together such a big project? You know, it's so epic. I mean, I know that Patrick Mahomes is going to take the Kansas City Chiefs to numerous Super Bowls, and I've felt it for so long. Knowing that and how I feel about Patrick Mahomes, what made you want to take on this big project?
Well, losing at home in the playoffs is what the Chiefs are all about. And it's the story of my life as a Chiefs fan. So, really, after the 2016 loss to the Steelers, I felt pretty strongly that the most common thread through all of this has been lackluster quarterback play. And it was right after the Steelers game, I actually started putting stuff together, and the Kansas City Star released that ridiculous photo of the Arrowhead parking lot full of garbage, and I just kind of began thinking about everything. And then, you know, the Chiefs picked Mahomes, lost to the Titans, and then I was really, really motivated to go ahead and finish it. And I really felt like it was kind of fate that Pat Mahomes was born the very year the Chiefs started on their odyssey of playoff failure. So just kind of intertwining the rise of Mahomes seemed pretty natural. So, you know, the video is trying to make a point, obviously, and I don't expect everybody to agree with that point. But, you know, good luck convincing anyone that veteran retreads are the key to championships after the last 25 years of Chiefs football.
And are there any other projects planned for Red Tribe Cinema in the near future?
I'll probably do a goofy trailer for next season, and if you liked the Game of Thrones reference at the end of Curse of the Kingdom, I don't want to give too much away, but let's just say Pat Mahomes' talents aren't limited to just throwing footballs.
That is freaking awesome, pal, man. It's awesome working with you. It's awesome pimping your stuff. You do kick ass on Red Tribe Cinema. It's freaking awesome. I want to thank you, Clay, for taking part in the Shaggyshane show, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me on, and remember, folks, always spay or neuter your game manager.
All right, man, moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, the off-season has begun. We're wheeling and dealing and stealing. Brett Veach is freaking styling and profiling, making some mega deals. It's an awesome time to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, you got to love it. You got to love it. All right, moving forward this offseason, ladies and gentlemen, I will continue to do shows. I'd like to sit down with Nick Gillespie, Lance Twidwell of The Spoken. He's awesome. He knows his stuff. Check him out at KC Beard Company. And this is just the beginning. The 2018 season is here. Free agency is going to be starting. The Chiefs continue to make room under the salary cap. After the Tamba Hali is released and maybe Derek Johnson is released, there's going to be even more room. Dustin Colquitt is still the highest paid punter in the National Football League, so there may be some room made there. Follow me on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, Shaggyshane KC. Until next time, this is Shaggyshane saying thank you, everybody. You guys all kick ass. 2018 season, it's coming. Patrick Mahomes era, baby. Until next time, this is Shaggyshane saying, see ya.